Good morning. I am Maria Destor, and I go LinkedIn Live on Tuesday mornings to help you take your career off of autopilot. And today I have a very special guest. I'm joined by Jenn Uhen of the Pledgettes. She is on a mission to embolden women to align their money values with their lives so that they can live more powerful financial lives. And she's going to explain a little bit about what that means. Hi, Jen.
Hi, thanks for having me, Maria, and thanks to those that are tuning in live and those who are watching the replay.
Tell us a
Um,
little bit about Pledgettes.
yeah, so I created the Pledgettes about 5 years ago. Going all the way back, I grew up in a family that openly talked about money. Normalizing money conversations has been part of my life, my entire life. And of course, getting into adulthood, I realized that that's not common to grow up that way. But I was still very committed to having money conversations is normal. It is beneficial to everyone. So the Pledgettes is your financial companion. So you don't have to go it alone. I do one-on-one sessions. We have a small group program. We have a membership community. And we have products like our Healthy Wealthy Talks conversation deck, all designed to make sure that you don't feel like you're doing your financial journey alone. And like you mentioned, Maria, that you're aligning your money with your values to have a good life.
Great. And on my show here, I always talk about how important it is to align your career with your passions and your purpose. And I challenge people to think if there were no constraints at all, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And what do you want to do? But then I know, even myself, I admit, there's that nagging feeling, but what about the money? I need a job now. I can't mess around with this dream job stuff. And I hear you. And that's why I invited Jenn with me today, because she can help us see how that we can make confident choices in our life and career around earn in alignment. And that is something I had never considered or even put those words together before I met Jenn. Jenn, what does it mean to earn in alignment with our values and our goals?
Yeah, Maria, just like you talk about building a career that is in alignment with your values and your goals, I want to expand that idea a little bit because I think oftentimes it's very easy to just focus as like your career, your professional life is your source of income, is your source of earning, and that's it. And so I want to really expand people's ideas to go beyond just making sure that you're in alignment in your career, but making sure that you are confident in the levers that you can pull to reach your big goals. It was interesting, and Maria, I have this question for you. I saw one of my friends, the Cash Class, posted on social media this morning. Would you rather choose job one, earning $150,000, working hard, not having a good culture, not having a good boss, or a $75,000 job where you get a 10% 401k match, some great benefits, more work-life balance, and a manager that you really like?
Oh, 100%. 75,000, because I think you're going to go into this a little bit more, that work-life balance, but what are those other levers that we can pull? And if we're healthy and happy, we can actually have the energy and mental courage to try these other things. What does that look like?
Yeah, I actually chose the same because my 2024 mantra is guided by future me. So contributing to a 401k, like I can live off $75,000 now. If I contribute to my 401k for future me, if I can build up healthy habits and great life habits that I want now that are going to benefit future me, I'm all about that. But I would also say like there's no wrong choices. So if you're intentionally like, I'm going to pick the $150,000 job. I'm going to grind it out for 2 years, knowing that I'm going to hate it. But there's purpose and intent because then that might give me a buffer for 2 years to launch my own business. Or I might take that money, put a down payment on a house so that I can retire 10 years earlier. Again, there's no wrong choices and there's just all these levers that we can pull. So kind of, instead of just like chasing the bag and always trying to earn more, think about what you want your whole life to look like and start taking action in alignment with those goals and values.
All right, that makes sense. I'm starting to see it now. And the thought that also occurred to me is it also depends on what your situation is with your family. You know, do you have a spouse who earns a little bit more and that leaves you more free to manage that rental property or explore these other options?
Yeah, I think whenever I hear anyone's goals, money will help you achieve that goal faster. So I do want to have a healthy amount of focus on compensation, on earning, but I want to look at a longer view and a wider lens of ways that we can earn beyond having a W2 full-time job. Looking at a balance of earning, spending, investing, all of these choices that you have in front of you, chances are there's probably multiple good choices in front of you. So I just want people to kind of explore those ideas and consider some stuff.
I've been hearing this saying, you can't save your way to retirement. What does that mean?
Yes, that's a great, that's a great question. I hear that too. So nobody can predict the future. Even those who claim to know what's going to happen, chances are they're not 100% right. So what we see with women and their relationship with money is oftentimes they get these messages growing up about money to be a good budgeter, be a thrifty saver, be a conscious consumer. Like, it's all about kind of this penny pinching and how much you can save. Um, I have friends and family that love to tell me the deals that they got on if I compliment them on clothes, or they just want to tell me every deal that they got. And deals are great. They're not always great if you're spending all of your time running around to 3 different grocery stores to save $20. Your time, money, and energy could probably be put in a different way. Now, historically, families talk to their sons about money with a more abundant mindset, about taking risks. You gotta, provide for your family. You have to, you have to spend money to make money. And this idea of more investing, where like women are getting these more budgeting, be thrifty, save, and men are getting more investing, take risks kind of things. So because of the way that money works, you can't save your way to retirement. Even our high yield savings accounts right now at 4%, just a couple of years ago, those were at 2.5%. That is not going to get you to retirement.
Okay.
However,
So we have a lot of people on LinkedIn who have corporate jobs or work for an organization that has a retirement account, and people are putting away this money each month. And I think that is a fantastic start. What else? What other levers are out there? What other things can women or other people on this call look at?
yes, great question. So, that's where instead of just like focused on saving, earning 3 to 5%, look at what your company provides in the benefits packages. A 401k or any kind of IRA contribution match is extra money that's built into your total compensation. Again, that's planning for future you, which I'm a huge fan of. But right now, historically, over the last several decades, we're seeing a market return of 7 to 10%. So that can be twice as much as what you're getting in a high yield savings account, 1,000 times more than what you're getting in a savings account in a global bank. So you will have to take some risks. I would look at those company benefits, see what they offer, take advantage of them. Companies are offering wonderful benefits right now, including discounted pet insurance. I'm seeing a lot, some tuition reimbursement, even some certification reimbursement. We have seen kind of the corporate landscape shift a lot of responsibility from companies to individuals. Employees are staying at jobs an average of 18 months. So companies are looking for employees that are already trained in the skills that they want to hire them for. more people are going and getting their own Google certifications, paying for different certifications programs to make them a stronger candidate, which companies historically have provided. From a retirement perspective, companies used to provide a pension, which meant they took a portion of your paycheck, invested it, but guaranteed you a payout once you hit retirement age. The move from pensions to 401k shifted the responsibilities onto employees, meaning that you're now responsible for making investment choices, which then will determine how much you have in your IRAs when you become retirement age. So instead of getting a set amount, it's the amount that you have made choices, your investing choices, your contribution choices to your 401k. So it is valuable to learn how to invest, to learn some basics of investments without putting the pressure that it has to be perfect or that you have to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, you're not going to be able to retire. Try to be a great investor. Try to be a good investor. Learn. And as you learn more, you can be a more sophisticated investor, but also don't take the pressure that those who know the most are the best investors. Just try some things, and be intentional on your choices.
Now, that was a lot about an employee. Let's not forget our entrepreneurs and solopreneurs that are on LinkedIn here. What can they do to pull these different levers to ensure their financial futures in retirement?
Yes, I love this question. So, we have so many wealth building opportunities and options today, way more than any generation before us has had. So there might be a choice that you're making to start a business, and that your business is potentially a huge chunk of your retirement plan. It certainly is for me as a real estate investor. That is where the majority of my wealth sits, and a large part of my retirement plan. But I do also have IRAs that I've been contributing to. Even as a self-employed person, I'm contributing to a Roth IRA. You can also contribute to a SEP IRA, a simple IRA. There's several choices that you have for long-term retirement plans. Again, with the intentional choices, one that my husband and I made was we bought an existing business. There were a lot of perks to that, including having staff and revenue and customers on day one. But the value of that business was a part of our retirement plan and our wealth building journey of how much could we sell this business for. So if you are building a business, if that is where you see your retirement plan coming, how are you building a valuable business? Do you want to contribute to different IRAs, that choices you have that W-2 employees do not have? And how are you determining how you're going to earn in this business to make that in alignment with your values and goals? So if retirement is your goal, are you building a business where the market rates are based on industry, company size, skills, experience, that works for your big goals? If you want to retire by 65, are you earning what is kind of market rate at this time? Of course, you can also make the choice to serve small businesses. Know you're going to get a lesser rate, but maybe you are strategic in other ways that you're earning, such as real estate investments or even REITs, which are real estate investment trusts. There's a lot more alternative investments that are happening and a lot of different ways you can use your money.
All right, I'm beginning to see it now. When we find ourselves in a career gap, or even if we know we want something different, or we're even at a stage right now where we just want to take stock, think about what our passions and purpose are. Think about what our values and goals are long term, and then kind of reverse engineer it. Is this path I'm on going to get me here, get me to where I want to go? And if it's not, what pieces can I put in place now to readjust the course?
Yes. Oh my gosh, great question. And when we had first talked about this topic, you and I we both have very intentional choices that we're making for our retirement. We're looking at it from a different way. I'm focused on cash flowing assets like real estate investments. We also sold our business with seller financing, so we're getting a monthly payment versus a one lump sum when we sold the business. I know you contribute a lot more to your IRAs than I do. And so the beauty of that is there are different choices. So first thing that I would recommend people do is to take that stock. What does the rest of your life look like? I know it's a big question. One thing I like doing, one exercise I love is spend 5 minutes doing a brain dump. Get a blank piece of paper, write out everything you'll want to spend your money on, donate to, invest in your life. Just write everything out. Get it out of your head and on a piece of paper. Circle the top 3. Start to get this visualization of something that is important for you to do, experience, have in this life for that you to feel that it's a good life. Now let's make choices in alignment with that goal. So if one of your big goals is to take your family on a trip that you pay for, a trip of a lifetime that you pay for, that tends to be a shorter term goal. So I would look at reducing your expenses, putting more money in a high yield savings account. I would change the name of that account to family vacation of a lifetime and intentionally contribute to that. If your goal is to retire at 55, to retire early, you're going to need some cash flow or savings to have before you start taking distributions from your IRAs. So then what does that look like? How are you going to either invest in cash flowing opportunities or save more for that bulk chunk of time? Now, again, nobody can predict the future. It's very hard to predict medical expenses, cost of living. There's a lot of unknowns in the future. But if we can start with a plan, we're going to be on our way to get there, and we'll be more intentional and purposeful than if we just kind of keep thinking that retirement's a very long way off, or having a dream that like, I would love to take my family on this vacation, but like only if I win the lottery and I don't actually play the lottery. So I really want those important experiences and choices in your life to become real, and that you are then making moves and pulling those levers in alignment.
I have to go back to something you said, and I'm sure there's people in this audience who want to hear more about this magical thing, cash flowing assets. Go.
So one of the pieces of advice that I received from my family pretty early on was invest in what you understand. So for me, a cash flowing asset is something that I understand, particularly housing. As a real estate investor, I started this in the first condo that I bought. I bought a 2-bedroom condo. I rented out the 2nd bedroom. So my mortgage was about half, because half of it was being paid by my roommate. That allowed me to make extra payments towards my house, put more equity into it, which only snowballed through my real estate investing experience, which I didn't think of myself when I was in my 20s. I didn't think I would be a real estate investor. Now it is a part of me. So I understand that if I have an asset and I have these expenses and I can charge this revenue or this rental price, I get to keep the difference. Of course, there is risk with every investment. So we have put in 2 hot water heaters in different properties in the last couple of years. Or, have just had weird stuff happen. The market has gone up and down. But as a long-term investor, I'm focused on providing a good service, providing a good product, and seeing that profit increase as rents increase and my expenses don't increase at the same rate. Other cash flowing assets, we are part of the sharing economy. You can rent out your car, you can rent out your house, you can rent out tools in your garage, you can actually rent out your garage. There is so much opportunity for you to make revenue with the money you already have. So looking at some of that stuff, if you want to get into, we have a trailer. We've been exploring, do we rent out our Airstream on RV Share or Outdoorsy for additional income if we're not using it? There's all of these options and levers. We have rented out our car on Turo before. We made the choice that that wasn't worth our time and energy. But we're out there trying things, and there are more and more options every day for you to look at. Just last month, I decided to challenge myself with finding $1,000 around the house of things I no longer use that I can sell. I listed about a third of my clothes on Poshmark and went around the house and listed stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And I did find $1,000 of things around the house that I sold last month. So I think just that is a practice of intentionality. That practice also encourages me not to buy as many things, because if I'm just going to sell it for a fraction of the price that I bought it for a year or two later, probably not a values and goals aligned choice for me. So that makes me a more intentional spender. And that also expands my mind to figuring out more levers I can pull in my financial journey.
Sweet. And I really, like many of us, was trying to figure out how to develop some cash flowing assets. And there are all different levels of commitment to this process, obviously. And when I was taking stock, I realized dividend stocks. I was already have cash flowing assets that I hadn't even considered. And for people who aren't as don't have as much time or want to bite off all the steps that come with renting out something, go buy a stock. I was trying to think of other, if you own a business, that could be a cash flowing asset, real estate, CDs. It's a little bit step higher than those high yield checking accounts, a lot lower investment of your time, pretty safe investment. You could do that. So there are other things that you can look at to diversify where your retirement savings are being held.
Absolutely.
I want to mention, anyone in the audience has any questions for Jenn, please put them in the chat. I am monitoring that.
Awesome. And yeah, I would say there's a popular verbiage language around passive income and developing passive income. I like to call it recurring income, because aside from earning dividends from your stock, very little of it is passive. Even if you're looking for different revenue streams as a business owner, if you have an online course or have digital downloads, there is still work involved. You're going to have to market the course or the downloads. You might have to update some of the content to make sure that it's fresh and current. So I really like considering recurring income. And I think the language you use around money is very important, aside from passive income. That kind of makes it seem like you get something for nothing, which just doesn't align with my value or my personality. I want to be an active, contributing member of societies, but providing value like digital downloads or courses or different revenue streams in my business is important to me.
Absolutely. I'm just cracking up because we've all seen all of the reels and Instagram and TikToks where it's like, it's, you can get there, but there's a lot of 100-hour weeks before you get to the 4-hour one.
Sure. Yeah. And I think also like the influencers that do say that they work whatever 3 hours a week and earn 100K a month, they have developed skills. They spent a lot of investing in their education. And I don't really care to know that much about the social media algorithms or the trending audio, but I recognize that the work that they go into, and I think in any 30-second clip, that gets lost. Whether somebody is talking about how they retired early or how they make $100,000 by working 3 hours a month, whatever their story is, the messy middle is often missed. And in that messy middle, they're developing skills, they're increasing their knowledge and their education around stuff, and they're testing a ton of stuff. Like being a business owner is about just testing things, and being on your financial journey is also about testing things. Like Maria mentioned, explore what stocks provide dividends to you. That might be one of your wealth building strategies to hit your goals and your values. Go out there and learn something new, and to find the right strategies and levers for yourself.
Well, and thank you, Jenn, for joining us today. And I talk about challenging you to get your career off autopilot. And today we're challenging you to get your financial plan off of autopilot. I am sure that you put energy into it. I'm sure that you laid a plan, but we're asking you right now to reevaluate. Are you on track? Jenn outlined a fantastic little exercise that you can do. And Jenn, how can they follow up with you if they have more questions?
Yes, please. For our listeners here today, I have a special hidden page, thepledgettes.com/keep it going. There you can schedule a call with me. You can get a sale on all of our items. And I'm just going to leave you with these 3 tips for increasing your your financial confidence. The first is increase your financial knowledge. Pick a topic you want to learn about, learn something new about it. The second is building your financial A team. Know that you don't have to do this alone. So start meeting some financial friends. I love being a financial friend. Get some specialists that are aligned with your goals. Everybody niches down, including financial professionals. Find some mentors and mentees. We do great at this in our professional life. Try to do that in your financial journey as well. And the third ingredient for financial confidence is financial practice. Try something. Go into one of your retirement accounts and move some money. If it's a 401k where you're just asked your risk tolerance, go review what your choices were that first day that you started your job. Just practice in small amounts, and that is going to build your confidence over time to make sure you're making confident money moves. So please reach out to me. I would love to be part of your financial A team and part of your financial journey. If not me, I love connecting people to someone who might be a right fit for you.
Thanks, Jenn. I put that link in the comments, so it's there for you to click on. And also you can visit Jenn's profile to read more about her and see what other things she has in her featured section. If this is getting you excited, but also a little like, ooh, this is kind of scary. You're pushing me to do something I don't normally do. Well, good, because that was our intention. But join me next week when I go LinkedIn Live at Tuesday at 9 a.m. Mountain. And I'm going to talk about how you build that entrepreneurs or that like, I'm going for something new, that mastering that mindset to enable you to do these things. So I hope to see you next week. I hope you had a fantastic time. Thank you, Jenn, for joining us, and I will see you soon.